we have Renae Goodwin of Payne West Insurance, who has told us so many wonderful things. We have AVID Investors here in the room. I'm StacyA McBain with Swope Investment Properties. Let's recap, shall we, Renae?
Yes.
What I heard you say is the number one mistake that folks may make when it comes to insurance is not having the right person on the policy. It's important to make sure you've got the person, whomever's name is on the deed, the title, it needs to be match the name on the insurance policy.
Correct.
And people all the time have it in a trust or an LLC, and that's not insured.
Right. Could cause you problems at claim time.
And if we have an Airbnb, we need to know a whole bunch of other things.
Yes, a whole bunch of other things.
Such as we either need to have proper insurance, literally with the company proper, and plan to pay 5 times the cost of the insurance.
Depends on the coverage, but it can be that much more.
Or we need to have a endorsement added to maybe a Safeco policy, but only a few carriers will actually allow you to do that. And that's where we're notifying them, hey, it is a short-term rental. And by the way, this whole but we do it for 30 days at a time, that's still short-term, right?
There are actually companies also coming out with home sharing endorsements. So if you rent part of your home, they'll add an endorsement on where you're just home sharing. So new things coming out on that all the time. The insurance industry has a tendency to be a little bit behind on that, but they'll eventually catch up.
And the other thing that we forget to do when we're talking about the number one mistakes that landlords and homeowners make is we forget to add personal property insurance. And so our appliances are not included. So if our house gets raided and our fridge is gone and our washer and dryer is gone or trashed or flooded, those things are not included in our insurance policy.
Right. And that can vary a little bit. Some companies can actually throw some of that in automatically, so it's worth checking.
Okay, so that's what we ask Renae, or we ask your agent if you have someone else who might not be as good as her. And then rising replacement costs, failing to notice that the $300 per square foot is the new $150 per square foot when it comes to replacement costs could be a big mishap if we actually have a mishap.
Right. Never let your policy go for more than a couple of years without reviewing that. And that's in the upturns and the downturns. Why pay more for more coverage than you need as well?
And then I didn't love the part where I learned that liability is infinite, where property loss is finite. The loss of our property may be limited to its value, its rebuild cost, its contents, but there is no limit to the number an attorney can put on a piece of paper when they sue everybody who was near an incident, like a dog bite. And so for that, we need to make sure that we not only have a really good umbrella, but we also need to make sure that we have our tenants carry liability insurance. And if they have their own renter's insurance, then they can tap into that. If our fridge breaks and they lose all their food and that's an insurance claim in their mind, they're not going to necessarily call us.
Right, they'd have their own policy for those things because you don't insure their food.
And it also, if our water heater breaks and floods all their stuff and ruins their furniture, that's their insurance because our insurance doesn't cover that. So there's a million reasons we can sell that to tenants. And that's the example that I like to use is my water heater could blow up and flood all your stuff and you can lose everything and my insurance isn't going to cover it. And then I heard you say the umbrella insurance is the only good buy left in insurance, but maybe we weren't supposed to.
I shouldn't say the only one. They're all good ones. It just happens to be one of the least costly at this time.
But that our umbrella really needs to not be 1 million and feeling good about it because 1 million is the new 100,000 and we need to have our umbrella cover our net worth if we want to have our net worth covered. And then when it comes to insurance, there's different options and Janice Dyke asked if loyalty is good and if what type of agent you use is good. And I think what we really heard there is relationships are key. You want to make sure that you trust that your agent is not only giving you the right policy that you need and understands your portfolio, but also is going to go to bat for you if there actually is a claim.
Absolutely.
And you can only do 2 before they kick you to the curb. So be careful what you actually claim.
Happens a lot. Yes, absolutely.
And to reduce that temptation to make unnecessary claims, carry a higher deductible because then you won't even be tempted and then you won't be paying for it. Thank you, Renae.
You get an A.
Yay! Thank you, Renae.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, AVID Investors.